Wattpad's an online community of readers and writers with millions of downloads, and GE partnered with these guys. And the program here was bringing nostalgic comics back from the 50s. And you think comic books from the 50s, very consumer focused. A lot of business that GE does is B2B. So maybe you could talk a little bit about, first why this program was important, why you wanted to reach these people, and then we could get a little more into why it mattered and how it works so well.
Yeah, sure. So I think to talk about Wattpad, I have to take a little bit of a step back. So, GE is a company that has, I said, we reinvent ourselves frequently. So, we are constantly looking at how do we kind of tell the story of the venerable history of invention that we've had, as well as keep a big foot in the present tense, sorry, a little bit of red eye mind. So, this comic book series that we did, Adventures in Science, back in the 50s, is absolutely fabulous, right? It's great, nostalgic content, beautifully illustrated covers. So it was a great way, Michael, for us to kind of say, look, we've always loved science, we've always been passionate about this, but kind of leapfrog into the present. And Wattpad, I don't know, just give me a show of hands. Anybody who here knows Wattpad? Wow, okay. So that surprises me in this crowd because there are about 45 million monthly unique users on Wattpad. It's a very global platform. It's popular in Europe, it's popular in the Philippines, and it's a lot of young women who are aspiring journalists, writers who go on Wattpad. They may write a story, they may illustrate something, and some of them have been discovered and gone on to get book contracts, etc. So we did something about a year ago called the Appfronts. It was kind of GE's take on the Upfronts. So we invited 12 burgeoning tech companies to tell us about their technology, and Wattpad was one of them. And we kind of fell in love with the fact that they were reaching this huge global audience, people who were never going to buy a jet engine, never, but who could be brand advocates. And more importantly, when this sort of gets to what you talked about a few minutes ago, Michael, very few people can buy a jet engine, right? We've got about 300 customers who own airlines, but we've got millions and millions of folks who might buy our stock. We're one of the most widely held retail stocks. We've got so many people we're trying to reach who might be interested in coming to work for us. We're increasingly hiring engineers. We've got a campaign in the market called What's the Matter with Owen that kind of speaks to that. And then we just frankly want to partner with people. We've got a ventures fund that partners with startups. So this idea of going on Wattpad, which one person in this audience has heard about, so please, homework assignment, go check out Wattpad, it's really cool, was here's a way for us to take a step into our past, sort of play into nostalgia a little bit, but invite people to tell modern stories about science and illustrations and submit those stories, submit their illustrations, and make GE relevant. And we did a study afterward, and I'd say, I wish I could remember all these stats, but it was like, 30-something% of the people who'd been on Wattpad had a completely different impression of GE. And, I think when you're a brand as venerable as we are, venerable means old, so I don't have to say old, you constantly have to say, why do we matter today? And I think finding ways to talk about our brand in new platforms, that's kind of the gist of what we're talking about here, is really important to us. People discover brands all kinds of different places, all kinds of different ways. So that's what Wattpad was for us.